In a small, quiet village nestled at the edge of a dense forest, there lived a young girl named Dara. She was no ordinary girl. She possessed powers unlike anything the villagers had ever seen. Dara could manipulate the elements, earth, air, fire, and water, all with a mere thought. Her powers had been a secret, known only to her family, for fear that others might see her as a threat. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, a storm unlike any other began to brew. The winds howled with fury, lightning struck the ground in violent flashes, and thunder echoed through the sky. The villagers panicked, rushing to secure their homes, but it wasn't the storm they feared most. It was the army marching toward them, a group of invaders led by a ruthless warlord who sought to claim the village's land. As the enemy grew closer, Dara stood on a hill, overlooking the valley where her home lay. She could feel the earth tremble beneath her feet, a warning of what was to come. The warlord's army was large, and their weapons were sharp. But Dara would not let her village fall without a fight. With a deep breath, she closed her eyes, focusing all her energy. The winds calmed, the storm fading as if it had never existed. Then, she raised her arms, and the ground beneath her feet began to shake. Massive stone pillars shot up from the earth, creating a wall of rock around the village. The invaders saw the wall of stone and were momentarily stunned. But the warlord, who had heard of a girl with such powers, ordered his forces to charge. Dara's heart raced, but she remained calm. She whispered to the winds, and they responded. The gusts grew strong, knocking the soldiers off their feet. Next, Dara called upon the water of the nearby river, pulling it toward her like a living creature. She shaped it into massive waves, sending them crashing into the invading army. The soldiers scrambled, drenched and disoriented, as Dara stood tall, her eyes glowing with determination. The warlord, seeing his army falter, stepped forward, raising a sword of dark iron. He sneered at Dara. "You think you can stop me with your tricks?" Dara smiled, her voice steady. "I don't need tricks. I have the power of the earth, the wind, the water, and fire on my side." With those words, she raised her hands to the sky, summoning a blast of fire that streaked toward the warlord's army, forcing them to retreat in fear. The warlord, desperate and angry, lunged at Dara, but she was faster. With a wave of her hand, the ground beneath him split open, trapping him in a pit of earth. He struggled, but it was no use. The warlord was defeated. The villagers, who had been watching in awe from behind their homes, erupted in cheers. Dara, her powers now spent, collapsed to her knees, exhausted but victorious. The storm had passed, the invaders were gone, and her village was safe once more. From that day on, Dara was no longer just the quiet girl from the village. She was their protector, their hero, and their hope. And though she had the power to destroy, she chose to defend, always watching over her people with the strength of the elements at her side.